Yo, hey everybody. This is Mark, and my last name is Maya, Mark Maya. I haven't done one of these in a while. Sorry. So today
You might not be doing you might not do one again after this. So
yeah. Today I have the infamous Sean Carr with us, and really excited to have Sean. I got to hang out with Sean out in Boone a couple months ago and do some creative stuff in the mountains and shoot and also shoot the shit a little bit. So it was a pleasure to meet him, and so since then we've just kind of been talking a lot. We're going to be doing some education stuff in the future, and I thought it would make sense just to have him do one of these artist talks, because I know that y'all are interested in him and his work, and also, hey Sean,
what's up?
How is
I'm rolling the sleeves up. I'm ready to get dirty here.
I get it. Where you at?
I'm in my buddy's pizza restaurant because there's really good Wi-Fi. So my apartment has really shit Wi-Fi. So I was like, I'm not taking any chances. I'll come here. So people start walking by me, or you hear Christmas music in the background. That's why.
You celebrate Christmas?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I go home. I'm not like super religious or anything, but I like a good Christmas tree.
Word. Yeah.
What about you?
Oh yeah, same. You know, I enjoy the Christmas festivities.
It's fun, man. I went up to Quebec last year, Quebec City, for like New Year's. And the old town Quebec is beautiful this time of year. It's just like covered in snow. It's like a little European city, man. It was really cool. But it's like when you think of a Christmas village, that's what it is.
Oh really?
Huh. Yeah, it was really nice.
I always think of like Sweden. I've never been there, but I always
actually the guy that owns this restaurant he's Swedish. He's a Greek Swede.
Oh really?
So,
interesting.
Yeah. So he grew up in Sweden. But he doesn't like Sweden.
You got some Mountain Dew there?
Always. I opted for the 20 ounce instead of the 2 liter. I figured that would look a little more normal, but typically it's a 2 liter. So if I run out, you might see me with the 2 liter here in a couple minutes.
Right on. Yeah, that was my first memories when I first met you. You just pull out your 2 liter.
I just drag a 2 liter around with me. It's sad. It really is.
Incredible.
I have no excuse.
Tell everyone a joke. I'll be right back. Somebody's knocking on my door. Yeah, go.
All right. I'm gonna Google a joke.
If you walk out, just keep this open because I'm to the interview. Thanks.
All right. Jokes. Let me see what Google gives us. Actually, not here. I forget the rest. That's not very funny, but it's probably better than what I would have had. So
cool. Sounds like you just told a really funny joke.
It was terrible. Yeah, it was just a shit joke. Sorry. I asked Siri to tell me a joke, and she didn't come through.
Okay.
So.
Well, before we get to all the madness that's coming in from the internet and those questions, why don't you tell us just how you simply got started as a photographer, how long ago that was, and just
all right, yeah, I'll give the brief summation. So my grandma was an art teacher. So growing up, I always had cameras. And then I took a photography class in high school with the darkroom, and that was one of my favorite classes. And then going to college, I decided to study film. So my film studies kid, and then I graduated, did the film thing for a while, and then one of my friends asked why I don't shoot a wedding. I was like, weddings are stupid. I'm not shooting a wedding. And then I shot one for free, and it was terrible, and I hated it. And I was like, I'm never doing this again. And I was like, I'll do one more. I did the next one, and it wasn't nearly as bad, just because you progress and you figure things out. And then
sure.
The idea of being able to work myself and meeting people, it was just something I kind of came to learn to like. At first, I hated the idea, to be completely honest. So
sure,
that's the short of it. So
Now, did you start out? You just start off as a wedding photographer then, or did you end up just?
Yeah. Well, I always took photos. I had my film camera throughout college, and I took terrible like landscape photos, and would go to Walmart and get them processed. And it was just, I still have all those photos. They're just sad to look at. But yeah, no, like as far as like commercially getting into it to make money, yeah, wedding. I remember I shot my first wedding here. It was at the beach, and
Where's here at?
Wilmington, North Carolina is where I'm currently at.
Yeah.
So I'll be out in the Portland area in about 2-3 months. But yeah, this is where I went to college, and I shot my first wedding. It was just on the beach at like a beach house, and it was just terrible. The photos were awful. I remember editing everything on like Photoshop. It took me like 10 days. It was just absolutely.
You see, you brought in like each individual one and all that.
Yeah. It was just like I had no idea what I was doing, and probably had no business taking photos. But you know, they got free photos, and I got the experience. And I think on my next one, I charged like $300 or something.
Yeah,
something stupid like that, and they were still terrible. But I don't even know who those people are. So it was, yeah. Don't take my advice. That's
Well, how did you find weddings in the beginning?
just my friend that suggested me. She was I think her friend was getting married, or she was getting married. I can't remember which. And she was like, "Why don't you do weddings?" I was like, you know, what I was saying before, I was like, "I'm not doing those. Those are stupid." And yeah, I just kind of gave in, tried it, and like I said, the first one was terrible. I had no idea what I was doing, and then just slowly got better and figured things out along the way. And it was like maybe 4 years ago or so, I was trying to get out of doing the film stuff, and just took a job doing second shooting with a guy locally, and then just kind of springboarded from there.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, so you're traveling over the world though too, right? I mean, you're not just hanging out in the U.S.
No, I mean, well, people that know me know I don't shoot a lot locally.
Yeah.
And which is part of the reason I'm moving. It's like, you know, I live here, but I don't ever work here. Yeah, no, I travel. It's fun, man. Like growing up, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted a job where I could work myself and I could travel, and this is like the perfect fit. So,
well, I mean, it's one thing to, I think, you know, say I want to become a wedding photographer and then find friends and do all that, but then to be able to get paid to travel all over the world and do that thing is a kind of different thing. I mean, how did you kind of be like, okay, I'm going to do this now, and how did you go about that and implement that?
I mean, really, I had enough money saved up to kind of transition, so that was helpful. I made the mistake of when I started thinking, like, the one thing I've learned in this business that I think helps more than anything is building relationships. Mm-hmm. And when I started, I was, you know, I'm just that kind of person. I always like to do things on my own, and that's not the suggestible way to do it. You know, relationships are so important in this industry. Yeah. I mean, you can be, and I've seen it a million times, you can be a shit photographer, but be really good working with people, and you can have a really good business. Or you can be an amazing photographer, have terrible people skills, and you're not going to do well.
Sure.
So, but yeah, and I really like the getting into wedding photography more came out of just the fact that I wanted to travel and work myself. And I was like, it was a means to an end. And I've just learned it to kind of, you know, curtail it to where I'm working with clients that I really like and shooting weddings that I like now. And, you know, it took a while to get to that point.
Word. Let's go to the phone. Let's see.
I don't know if you can hear it, but the Christmas music just kicked back on.
Yes. I've actually been really staying away from Christmas music. It's it just seems
can't get away from it.
It's
everywhere.
Just like after the elections, I'm like, God, can we sugarcoat anything else in our country? Let's go for this. And yeah, I don't know. I'm so bitter. Anyways, sure. So we'll go to the first question. This is from Carissa.
Okay.
She said, "Have you hired a professional for branding your business?" Curious about that.
Well, so my website, I hired somebody to do all my website. That's just stuff I was talking with a buddy of mine, and he made a good point. He's like, you know, if you have a job, you don't have a business. So the more I can outsource, I'm happy to do it. websites is not something I want to be messing with on a day-to-day basis. If my website goes down or I need to get something rebranded, I don't want to mess with it. So I just pay somebody to do it. So I have a girl that does my website. I'm in the process of doing some rebranding right now. So I'll be having that kick out over the next like 4 or 5 months, just with the West Coast move. So, but
sure.
I mean, starting off, I don't know if it would be worth it, but like at this point, I'm happy to pay somebody that's much better at it than I am.
Right. I mean, is that something you've done from the beginning? Because I mean,
no, man, like back in the day, I used to have like this terrible like environmental blog, and I used to like work on WordPress and like try to design it myself.
Yeah.
This is like 10 years ago. And it was terrible. And I have no design skills. So I had a WordPress theme when I first started off, and it wasn't, I mean, it was okay. So once I was going to do the first rebrand, I was like, here, outsource the shit.
Right. And I mean, it was
a good decision.
Is that something that you think is is fairly important for you to invest in, to find some...
For me, it was because, like I said, I don't have any skill in it.
Yeah.
It's good to have somebody that has eyes that know what looks good and what doesn't.
Sure.
So for me, at least, it was a good decision. I mean, if you have decent design skills and you can get a template you like working with, I mean, by all means, do it. It'll save you a lot of money. But I was happy to invest that money. So
yeah, and you're still using WordPress right now, or are you using something else?
Yeah, I love WordPress, man.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I like to do my own design stuff, but I use Squarespace. I did WordPress for a little while, but I found it to be a little more time consuming than I wanted.
Yeah, I mean, from everybody I've talked to, Squarespace is pretty easy to work with, but I've kind of just committed to WordPress at this point. As long as I'm not doing it, I can do the basic stuff.
Yeah.
But if I'm doing like a page overhaul or any of that, I don't. I just I was supposed to meet with my web girl today, and we ended up calling it off because she was sick. But
sure.
It's just easier for me to have somebody else do it.
Yeah, and I mean, so comparatively to like paying someone to rebrand your website, how much other advertising are you doing out there for your weddings, for on blogs or examples like the wedding?
That's one thing I haven't been very good about, man. Like, maybe about 6 months ago, I was like, all right, I'll get all the rebranding done and start advertising on the West Coast. Mm-hmm. And I'm still waiting on a lot of that stuff to get finished. So it's really held everything up. And I feel like I should have invested more time into that so far.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just jumping into it. I've got an SEO guy I work with that I've just started working with to get going out there. Cause it's, I mean, going from East Coast to West Coast is a big move.
Yeah.
So, and I know like 3 people out there.
Yeah. So you also work with someone SEO, or is that web guy?
Yep.
Okay.
No, they're separate. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. I mean, that's not something that I hear all photographers doing. So, I mean, so you seem like that's the vibes I'm getting. Yeah. It seems like you think that's a good investment.
If I was staying here in the market I'm in right now, I wouldn't, because I was doing fine without it, but trying to start over, for me, it's worth the couple $100 a month,
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So,
for sure. So let's see. This is from Ben. He said, "Yeah." So it's a great question. Whenever I first met you and started following you, he's asking. This is just Ben. I don't know his last name.
Okay.
You may know him, but he said, "How did you first start shooting international weddings?" So, like, did you have to market specifically for international stuff? Because
so the first international one I shot was Guatemala.
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend that lived in Guatemala, and I'd been going there pretty much every year for like the last 6 years. I haven't been this year, but Antigua, Guatemala, which you guys can Google it, it's a fucking rad place. But I've been going there quite a bit, and I was like, this would be an amazing place to shoot a wedding. So it's like maybe the second or third time I was there, I Googled wedding planners in town, and then the next time I went was like 6 months later. I set up a meeting with one of the local wedding planners, and then she just started referring me. So
yeah,
I mean, it was just, I feel like, people always bitch and moan about people doing free work, but like, if you got to shoot a free wedding abroad to get one in portfolio, I'm by all means do it.
Sure.
So I have no qualms against people doing that.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen some people doing some really interesting things. People were saying I'm giving away shoots as long as you pay for my travel or stuff like that.
I think as long as that doesn't become like consistent part of your business plan, because you will fail, it's okay. I mean, like I said, the first wedding I ever shot, I didn't charge at all. You got to start somewhere. So, if you're like, if somebody that's just starting off is competing with me at this point for a wedding, then I'm not doing what I need to be doing. That's how I kind of look at it.
Right. I mean, can you talk more about that?
Well, just, like I said, when I started off, I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, I was just a dude with a camera. And if I was going up against somebody that had been shooting weddings for 3 years, either they're not progressing at the pace they need to progress at, or I was just super talented to start with, which was not the case. So, sure. Yeah, no, I think, I definitely understand how it hurts the industry on the whole, but at the same time, do you?
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's so many times with these artist talks that I love asking that question. How'd you start off? What'd you charge first? And I'm just like, I'm always surprised. People are like, yeah, the same thing. I think somebody really big, and maybe in Dylan Howell, I think him or like Brett.
Yeah. Brett Boner.
Yeah, Brett Boner, I think his last name.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
I think one of them said they got their first wedding on Craigslist. I don't remember if it was one of them.
Yeah, dude. When I started, I was on Craigslist all the time.
Yeah.
No shame.
Yeah, and for like a few $100 wedding, again, like you have to start somewhere. Like
that's the thing. Like I mean, it's great. Everybody always talks about like, oh, you need to learn under somebody else, and that's fantastic. But no photographer in the right mind is going to take somebody that doesn't have a portfolio, and you've got to get it somehow. So do you? If that's the steps you needed to take to get where you need to go, then I have no problem with it.
Yeah, word. I think that this is where like social media has come in, and we just like all the other areas of society, but we put people in these elite. We label them as elitist, and what they do as full-time professionals that are really successful is something that we also have to do. In order to be successful. And that's just not true. It's really just not true. We are, I think in this industry, especially, we're just a bunch of hackers really at the end of the day. Like that's all.
I mean, yeah, that's perfect. I love that.
we're these, we're hackers that like, have social anxiety, and we don't work well with other people generally. And so we're just like, man, screw what most people do. I'm going to do my own thing, And so,
I mean, like me, like I hate working with other people. I always have.
Yeah.
It's just, and that's why this job's perfect, because I get to pick and choose the people I like working with.
Yeah.
Word. I mean, like I said, I came to love the wedding side of it later. But for me, it was about finding a way I could support myself. Support myself and travel and not have to have a boss.
Yeah, same. I think I've been an educator for about 10 years, and I have dreamed of a job where you can kind of do what you get to do and what I'm finally starting to get to do. But it's amazing to be able to have that freedom to kind of pick and choose. It's a wonderful gig if you can.
Oh yeah. And that's why when I hear other wedding photographers bitch and moan about stuff, I'm like, just shut up. Like, we have an awesome job. Like, compared to most people, like, I know a lot of friends that hate their job. Like, I love my job. Like, if a couple emails me and wants the raw files, I'm not going to give it to them, but I don't care. Like, they don't know any better.
Right.
That kind of stuff. I hate when people bitch and moan about it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just petty.
For sure. Let's go back to the phones here and see what we got.
I had somebody message me a little bit ago. They're watching this.
So did they ask you a question?
Yeah. Let me pull it up.
Yeah, I do.
Let's see here. Running low on battery. You can, if you want to pull up another question, I'll.
Okay. This one's from.
That's cool. All right. No, this Ashley Reed
Okay.
sent me a message. I shot my buddy in Pittsburgh, and I guess she's from the Berg, which is Pittsburgh. If you guys haven't been there, awesome town. So anyway, go ahead.
Oh, so she doesn't have a question.
No, she saw a shoot I did
Okay.
from Pittsburgh. She was from there. So
very well. Yeah. So let's see what we got here. So this is from Austin. He said, "I'm not currently shooting professionally, but that's where I want to be in the next year or so." He says, "But right now I'm totally overwhelmed on where to actually start." And he said, "How did we launch our businesses, and what resources would we recommend? What mistakes did you make at first?" Why don't we just skip to the last one there?
Mistakes.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
We kind of already answered the first.
I made lots of them. Like, where to begin?
What are some funny, embarrassing ones that you could tell us about?
I don't know if I have any funny or embarrassing. I think the biggest thing with me is so not that everybody knows, but I live in beach town. So everybody here wants like hotel beach weddings, like colored pastel sand ceremonies, that whole deal, which is cool. It's just not my bag. But so trying to like cut a niche out of that market's been really tough, which is why I'm moving to the West Coast, just because that's the stuff I'd rather be shooting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, first mistakes, not backing up files, not having an actual business license, you know, just the common stuff that everybody, like, not having a business plan. Like, I think everybody that starts their own business needs to like go to your community college and take like a free business class, like an accounting class. Like, cause that honestly, it goes back to what I was saying earlier. Like, you can be a shit photographer, but if you're good with people and you have good business plan, you're going to be fine. But yeah, no, starting off like,
no, I mean, I think like here in, here in North Carolina, like most of the photographers that I and see and hang out with, like they are really great business people.
Yeah.
And they know the photos that they have to make in order to make money, and for somebody like me, it's the opposite. I came in, I just wanted to make photos, and now I'm switching over to the wedding photography business, and it's that's really hard.
It's really especially hard. In a place like North Carolina, like I said, where if your style doesn't, in Asheville, I guess I could fit a little more into my style, but like here on the coast, where it's like really bright and airy, pastels, beachy, like trying to make a business out of that is tough.
Yeah, for sure.
So you just have to, it's like I said, have a business plan and stick to it.
Right.
What was I was going to follow up, I'm trying to read. But yeah, no, like as far as like recommendations, I know I rag on workshops all the time, more out of jest than anything, but like that's a perfect dude that would be like suited for a workshop. Like go find one that focuses on business, but also on the photography side, and just, go have at it, make a bunch of contacts. And like I was saying before, the relationships you build in this business are probably more valuable than anything, regardless of whether you can take a good photo or how much you charge. Like, relationships are by far the most important thing I've found.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that too. I think I've since I've been doing more photography education, and then since I've gotten to the wedding game over the past couple of years, I would agree with that. I mean, it's like 80% of my my shoots now are referrals and recommendations. Yeah. So I'm sitting here like, damn, like if that's my marketing plan, I need to think about how I'm interacting with people more. How am I talking
Absolutely.
to people? How is the relationship perceived from their end? If that's where I'm getting clients, I need to be contemplating that a little bit more. So
yeah, like I had one planner in town last year, gave me like, I think it was like 6 different weddings. That's a lot of money, man. Like, just that one relationship, and if you're not building on those, and it's the same with clients, you can take pretty photos, but if they don't have a good experience with you, then you're not going to get the referrals, man. And eventually your business is just going to dry up unless you're an SEO god.
Right.
So,
You see any questions on there that you really want to answer?
Um,
You want to go to Brett's or?
yeah, I'm looking at Brett's. How was the process when you filed bankruptcy for Sean Carr Photography? It was great, man. I got rid of all that debt. It's awesome. How come you shoot on an iPhone as opposed to Canon, Nikon, Fuji, or weddings? Have you seen the portrait mode, Brett? Have you seen it? Brett
No,
Boner.
do you have the 7?
No, I'm still rocking the iPhone 5.
Yeah,
I refuse to upgrade, man. I'm an old fogey.
man, I've shot with the 7 Plus. It is ridiculous.
It looks. I've seen the photos. It looks
My
really
God, yeah, it's wild. I can't believe it. Like I am I'm probably sold. I think it's probably worth it. Like this camera is just it's out of this world.
I think I'm gonna wait for the 8 to come out and then either get the 8 or just wait for the 7 to get cheap.
Sure.
But
I'm thinking about getting the Pixel.
That looks pretty nice too.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm not an Apple fanboy by any means. So
no, I mean I've been Apple for a long time now, and I'm willing to switch. I'm okay.
I mean, honestly, I would go back to Motorola Razr like in a heartbeat if I could have like Facebook and email on it. So
yeah, I used to have a hand-me-down pink Motorola Razr.
Oh God,
amazing, classic. So
trying to look at these questions here. Do you think Bigfoot likes Diet Dew? Of course, it's not even you already know the answer to that, Ben.
Brett also said, "Why the extra R on Carr?
Why is your last name Boner? I don't know. Parents have weird names. It's not our fault."
Real question.
Okay.
From Kelsey
Yeah.
Lafferty.
Oh, her.
Yeah. How do you get badass clients?
All right. Well, I will
how
say.
do you get how do you get the client you want? How do you?
I mean, part of it's branding. Part of it's just. I mean, this goes kind of back to what we were saying before.
Yeah.
When I first started, I was just trying to make money, and I was just anybody that came in the door, I'd work with them, and then you just get to the point where you want to be working with a certain clientele, shooting certain types of weddings, and that's just a fact.
Yeah.
And you just have to be able to basically turn people away and embrace, like, all my stuff is, I wouldn't say moody, but it's on the darker side compared to where I'm at. And I knew going into that I was going to turn a lot of business away here, and you just have to embrace that. I'm kind of in a unique situation where I'm in a market that I don't particularly want to work in a ton, but if you're in a market you like, just put stuff out there, like, show what you want to shoot. That's really the best advice. And then just be you. I always tell people that, like, if your personality is kind of like wild and crazy, put that out there, because that's going to attract people you want to work with.
Yeah. Well, so this is interesting because, you're all over Facebook. Like you're posting.
I'm a troll, man.
I
get nothing done from like noon to like 4 p.m.
Yeah. And so, what's interesting, like when I first started, really pushing social media, Instagram, Facebook, I hated it. Like it was just too hard for me to care. And, I just started being like, okay, I started just observing and noticing guys like Sam Hurd and guys like Dylan Howell, the ones that were, socially, like they were perceived in this way. And I'm like, why is this, and over time I started to, in one sense, mimic and then, throw my personality, my twist on it, because I'm just not a social media guy. Like I don't enjoy doing it all the time, but, you do this in a fairly unique way where, like, you are, you're consistently pointing back to the fact that you are a wedding photographer. At the same time, you have this really interesting way of throwing in your personality to every single little post that you do. And I mean, is that part of your marketing plan, or is it just you're bored?
Yeah. The last part, there's no thought that goes into it at all.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like, if I wasn't having fun on social media, I just wouldn't be on it. And I know that's not good for business. So for me, it's the way to kind of keep engaged. Like, I'm not nearly as well. I'm probably sarcastic, but I'm not nearly as trollish in real life as I am online. So
yeah,
it's kind of just it's a way to keep engaged and have fun.
But I mean, I'm assuming you're getting business from your personal Facebook account.
I don't know, man. I don't know. No, like I said, like I I would say the majority of people I know online are either photographers or they're people from back home where I don't shoot back in upstate New York, or they live down here. And like I said, the market's so different down here. So, I mean, I've gotten a few things here and there, but by and large, it's just like word of mouth, or, you know, like I'll get stuff off Instagram every now and then. But yeah, I don't get a ton through personal.
Okay. So
it'd be nice. I'd like more. So if you're thinking about getting married, please call me. I'm happy to take your money and give you mediocre photos. So
for sure. No, yeah, and I think like if you can have fun on social media, that's important. Yes, like we need to. There are certain things that we do have to not cross the line, I think. But yeah, I think like social media stuff is one of those things that it's like the tiny little investment. You know, every time you make a post, you know.
Well, and here's the thing, like it costs you time, but it's free.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day, you'd have to take like an ad out in like the yellow pages or, but social media like Instagram, Facebook cost you nothing unless you want to promote. But if you're smart about it, there's no reason you shouldn't be trying to get business off it.
Right.
And, you know, and back to the relationship part, like I've met so many people through Facebook and even dude, I was 2 years ago when I was going down the West Coast. This is like when I decided I want to move to like the Portland area.
Yeah.
We're driving from Portland down to San Francisco, and we kicked over to Yosemite, and these people hit me up on Instagram, and they're like, "Oh, you're in Yosemite, like we need engagement, you know, photos."
Right.
Just a badass couple, like they let us stay in their cabin, like had beer, but you know, that was just something like completely random through social media, and now like we're really good friends. I shot their wedding out there, so you know, it's an investment, but it doesn't cost you anything. Like, what else are you gonna be doing? You know?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right there. It's something that's definitely free, and you get to easily decide like how people see you and you're perceived as.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, social media is like that. It's weird because you get this idea of people, and then they're either exactly what you think they're gonna be like, or they're total opposite.
Yeah,
that's what they put out there all the time.
Totally. It was Dylan may be watching, but yeah.
What's up, John? I'm doing an interview right now. I can't talk, but
in here.
So just doing an interview on here. So
yeah,
I'll talk to you in a little bit though.
Are you talking to somebody?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. All right, man.
Yeah, I mean, Dylan Howe is a great example of that. You know, like he does a great job of being perceived just like his clients, right? Like the really badass outdoorsy. When you talk to him, he's really chill and just you know, not as outgoing as everything his brand is, which is really, I was so surprised by and taken aback. You know, and that was I was like that's rad. It's really rad that you can
smart too.
Yeah, so smart. And that's when I just started looking at him and Sam especially for a while. Both of them are just geniuses in social media stuff. So,
yep. And they're both really good photographers. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, you can't do that if your work's not going to stop people in the feed. Yeah, you're right. And I think, you know, I mean, you know, nowadays everybody can post those photos. It's just how do you do it? Can you consistently do it, etc. So,
yep.
Let's see. This is funny.
I'm reading the questions on the blog right now. Would you marry a Bigfoot if he was actually a she? It's just strange.
Yeah, what's your obsession with Bigfoot? Here.
Man, it's just like Bigfoot. I don't know. I watched too many like ghost hunting shows when I was a kid or something. I don't know. I got no excuse.
Right.
I mean, part of it too is I live on the East Coast. The fact that I'm going to be living in the Northwest, that's Bigfoot country. So dreams do come true.
Word.
I get to go on the weekend and go Bigfoot hunting.
Who are some other specific photographers, or maybe just artists, not even photographers, that
Dude, I
inspire
figured you were going to ask this question, and I was thinking about it today. I was like, I don't really follow anybody.
Yeah.
It's probably like a negative, but I don't really look at other people's work unless they're like popping up my feed. You know, so I was going to go back to grad school for like journalism. So I wanted to be like a war photographer, like a war correspondent.
Yeah.
and now I'm shooting weddings, which is kind of similar. But like Brent Sturton's a photographer I really like, just a photojournalist. I like really heavy, like, you know, just not happy documentary photography.
Sure.
But as far as like artists and stuff, man, I don't really, that's a terrible answer, but it's true.
It's good. It's fun. Where do you think photography is going in the next few years?
Dude, I have no idea. It's going to be a shit show. I have no idea what's going to happen. Like, we're either all going to have no jobs left, or like a robot's going to be shooting weddings. Who knows, man?
People are coming in droves. I mean,
well, it's so easy now. Like, I remember growing up, you know, when I was learning to take photos, like, you had to load film, you had to know how to process film, all that stuff. Now, literally, like, your iPhone can take better photos than what I was doing back then.
Right.
So, yeah, who knows, man? I mean, I think there's still going to have to be a creative eye behind it, no matter the technology. But it's definitely going to get easier and easier to do what we do. So, for better or for worse, I think that's just how it's going to trend.
For sure. So yeah, well, I mean, what's your opinion on the workshop market right now? Since, I mean, it's just, there's workshops everywhere.
There are. I mean, I feel two things about it. One, obviously, I think there are some workshops that are amazing and people can benefit from them. But at the same time, I feel like it's also something where it's a brand builder.
Right.
So, you know, it really depends on the workshop. I don't think they're inherently bad. I just think some people, it's like I feel like workshops, presets are now what workshops were last year.
Right.
If that makes sense. So it's like a quick way to build your brand up, but hopefully you're giving some good content to whoever's buying it.
Sure.
You know?
Sure. And me and you are actually teaching together next October.
The irony of that does not, you know, fall on deaf ears.
Well, I mean, I remember when I first contacted you about that, and you were like, "Yeah, I don't want to do workshops." You know,
I mean, I feel like the one thing I can teach is like what not to do.
Sure.
Like, here's all this shit I did that you shouldn't do, because I've made plenty of mistakes along the way. But like, as far as like shooting, and I mean, everybody's got to find their own style and all that fun stuff.
Yeah. We're on that note. If folks are interested, we're doing the Photo Rehab North Carolina version next October, I think. Yeah, and I think we're probably going to be in Asheville is where we'll be. Yeah. But that's available if you want to Google the Photo Rehab. It'll be it's me and Sean and Josh and Shelly Hartman, who just got the on the top 30 rangefinder list.
That's right. It's crazy, man.
They're North Carolina guys.
Good for them. That's awesome.
Yeah. And
I remember Josh emailed me like 3 years ago when he was starting his business.
Yeah.
Like he was looking for second shooting gigs, and I wasn't doing second shooters like for every wedding. And then I was like, I don't have anything, dude. And then within like 7 months, their business just blew up.
I know.
But
they're amazing. They're absolutely amazing.
But yeah, they're super rad.
Yeah, so they'll be there and all. That'll be fun and and such. So yeah, that'll be your we'll be popping your workshop cherry there.
Scary.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting stuff.
I feel bad for anybody who's learning from me.
They're gonna get their money's worth. So
my money's
yeah. Let's see.
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, like, as you're traveling a lot, you're shooting a lot. You know, I mean, when I first met you, you drove like 12 straight hours from New York, like straight to North Carolina, and I'm just like, God, man, I would hate that. But I'm just like, I'm just sitting there like, what are some things that you do to stay grounded and just stay human and just keep it together? What are some things that you practice?
I mean, I work out. I mean,
obviously
you can't tell, but I do. But no, like de-stress, man. Like try to I just started getting back into running because that's a huge way to de-stress. But yeah, no, I enjoy driving. Like I would much rather drive 12 hours than fly like 5. It's just fun, man. It's just like almost meditative for me. But yeah, that drive from New York to to Boone was terrible. But yeah, no, I mean, just own a shitty car and you don't have to worry about putting the miles on it. That's really the key.
Yeah.
But yeah, like as far as work goes, like I get back, I don't touch it for a week, just like completely like disengaged from it, so I'm not thinking about it, and then I come back to it with a fresh set of eyes. And
right.
But yeah, no, traveling sucks. It's hard to like stay in routine when you're doing like eating healthy and all that fun stuff, man. It's not easy.
Yeah. Yeah. So I do a similar thing. I actually won't touch my photos for at least probably 2 weeks. I'll do a quick sneak peek, of one that I really love.
Same here.
Yeah. I just think that like my brain needs time away.
Well, it's one of those things. If I look at the photos the next day, I'm like, oh man, I didn't really quite nail that shot. But if I come back to it like 2 weeks later, I'm like, damn, all right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what it is. It's the same photo, but I just have a completely different perspective about it.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta
I'm
feel
sure
it.
we're not the only people that do that. I'm sure a lot of photographers do that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're probably right. Yeah, it's just something I think that, like photographers that are just shooting out, 45 weddings a year. I just can't. I can't imagine myself in that position where I am forced to edit and forced to shoot. I like feeling it. I like the intuition. I like.
Yeah, and I mean, and that goes back to back to about like the business decisions. Like you have to figure out how much money you want to make and how much of your stress and livelihood are you willing to give.
Sure.
Because 45 weddings a year would suck.
Yeah.
But I know people that do it and they're happy to do it. But it's not anything I'd want to take part in.
Right. Looks like Chad and Josh and Pole just popped in. That's awesome.
Oh, cool.
Three of my homies.
Clearly they have nothing going on right now.
Yeah, obviously. Well, they didn't even really ask any questions. So
just hanging out.
Let's see. No, Chad, like we were talking about Chad earlier, and he's just like this amazing business person. He just kind of does what he wants to do.
He's handsome too, which doesn't hurt.
Yeah,
that's a handsome Mormon right there.
I don't know if Chad's Mormon.
No,
is he?
Not.
Okay.
Yeah. He lives in Utah. That's close.
Yeah. Anybody who lives in Utah is a Mormon, right? Yep.
Pretty sure. I might have to do a little diet do run here in a second. So.
Yeah, I think we're almost done, but
okay, cool. No, we're good then.
Yeah. Paul said, does trolling help out with SEO?
No. I wish. Absolutely not.
I think honestly,
it makes good friends and good enemies though. So it's.
You've honestly gotten me into a fairly unhealthy Facebook response to things. I'm like my filter, like my business filter has gone down over the past few months because like you just.
I apologize.
The shit that you that pops up in my feed from you, I'm just like.
I guess you asked this question earlier. It does kind of go back to branding. Like I have no qualms about saying that stuff online and having clients see it, because I want people that aren't going to be turned away from that. Sure. It's not something I plan on doing, but if I have a client that sees me make like a sarcastic remark, and I want them to be cool with it. And if they're not cool with it, they're probably not the best fit.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I think I agree with that. And that's something that I've tried to do as well. It's I don't want people who don't like me, my style, or the things that I say. Like, why would I want somebody to pin
like, I know people that shoot so many weddings. They're like, oh, I had to deal with this bride. I'm like that's not a good business. I mean, it's probably a good business plan, but like with weddings, it's such a personal thing that I feel like, a portrait client you can get away with not like really jiving with all the time. But with a wedding, man, like you want to really like these people. Like, I just don't understand the logic behind working with somebody on a wedding that you don't really like.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah. It's just not my cup of tea.
I've not had a bad bride just because,
I've never had a bride, even starting off when I wasn't like doing a good job of kind of like screening them.
Mm-hmm.
But my crazy radar is pretty good too. Like I can meet with a bride and be like, nope, pretty quick. Yeah. So, because sometimes it's the groom. It's
right. Or sometimes it's mom. Mom is usually the one who looks at me and my website and just who I am. And I don't know what it is, but I do not, I don't give up. good mom vibes.
Yeah, no, man. Like a mom can either make or break it. Like I was meeting with a couple. This is like 2 months ago, and their mom came. I'm like, oh boy, but their mom's cool as shit. Like we were just talking about like partying back in the day, and she's like,
Right.
oh yeah, I remember back in the '70s. And I'm like, this lady's cool. So,
That's
but
great.
you know, it could be the total opposite. You get somebody who's really uptight and just super traditional, and she's paying for it, so she wants what she's gonna get. You know,
exactly. No, that makes total sense. Like a lot of times, like it's, yeah. Well, I guess going back, like, what I mean is most of the weddings that I've lost, it's been because of mom and just I'm okay with that, and I'm
why is that? Why does the photo have two faces? I don't understand it. The double exposure, Ma.
Why is no one smiling? Why is no one smiling?
Yeah,
Why is no one looking at the camera? Yeah, I know.
Because that's grandma. Grandma doesn't look at cameras.
Right. Exactly.
So I don't know what it is. Like the grandparents at weddings don't ever look at the camera for formals. I don't understand it. I'm sure people listening to this right now can relate. But like I have to take like 10 photos for the family formals if there's an old person in it. Because they're like staring off at birds and shit. I don't get it. Anyway, sorry, that was a random tangent, but
no. Well, so what are you working on right now? Like, what are you? I know you just got done with wedding season. Like, what are some creative things you're gonna be doing for the next few months?
I'm trying to start doing more commercial work. So I was meeting up with a modeling agency out in Portland that does a lot of like athletic and commercial work. I really want to get more into that. That way I can just be more selective about the weddings. And then, just doing like modeling agency stuff. I really like doing that.
So you're going to be modeling?
Clearly. No. But yeah, no, just trying to diversify a little bit. And like I said, when I'm 55, physically, I don't know if I'm going to want to shoot weddings.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to like lay the groundwork for that. Do more studio work. I really like studio work. So that kind of stuff. It's off season, so book for next year, do commercial or not commercial, creative stuff, just projects I've had in my head. So,
right,
that kind of thing.
Yeah, you seem to have a really mature kind of like long-term outlook on this business that I find fairly refreshing. I think you're going to be fine. I mean, do you think like most photographers are going to be fine? Can they last?
No, no. I mean. I really think it comes down to your business plan and what kind of market, I
mean, you say business plan, but I mean, a lot of photographers out there, they saw their buddy is a photographer and they're like, I can do that too. Like that's their plan.
Yeah, I think if you have a full-time job and you want to do it on the weekends, there's always going to, but if you're trying to make a living at it, that's a whole different ballgame. It really just, cause you can have a full-time job and do this stuff on the side and shoot weddings for $1,000 and, do 10 of those a year and you're good. Have a little website.
Right.
But if you're trying to be in it for the long haul, man, good luck. I don't think the industry is going to get any easier. It's going to be easier to shoot, but I don't think it's the competition is going to get more fierce. But there's always going to be people getting married. That's the one thing that's great about it.
Sure.
So the trick is just to put yourself in a position where you, if things take a downturn, you're not going to get, really hurt by it.
Right. For sure.
So,
have you thought about making your own presets and selling them?
No.
Doing that stuff? No.
No.
Any plans for
my view on presets this year is the view I had last year on workshops. Everybody's doing it, and it's cool. Like, I'm glad people are making money, and some of them are really good. Like, I've seen a couple preset packs that are really cool, but I feel like every time I buy a set of presets, I'm like, why did I just spend $60 or $80 or whatever it is? So, or the people that like take Visco and tweak a couple things and then I've got a preset. No, you don't.
Sure.
No, you don't.
Move the slider here.
Yeah. So, I mean, more power to them. It's just not my bag.
Yeah.
So
for sure. No, I hear you. I feel you. Again, it's somebody seeing an opportunity, I think, and running with it.
Yeah, and I don't blame them. Like it's a great way to make money. I just don't know if I'd feel dirty on the inside doing it for some reason.
Sure.
I don't know what it is about that. Like, I shouldn't. I mean, it's a completely logical thing to do for a photographer. It's a great way to make money. It's a great way to build your brand and get your name out there. But I just don't feel like there's no look out there that isn't out there right now that I would want to make to sell, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Like,
yeah, I mean, I think it's the same thing.
I'm happy with Portrait 160 is what I'm saying.
For sure. Yeah. At the end of the day, like, yeah, that's like, yeah, I mean, I've been making presets for about a year and selling them for about, I guess I've been selling them for like 6 months, my own, for my double exposure stuff specifically. But
yeah, and that's cool too, because it's like you're doing something that most people aren't.
Right. And I don't know. It's fun. It's fun, but I totally understand. Yeah, I'm curious to see what happens next year. Yeah,
I think there's gonna be a preset bubble, just like there's a workshop bubble, and then it'll be I don't know what's gonna be next. There'll be something.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. But we will be there. So
hopefully.
Yeah. You see any other questions out there that you really want to answer before we call this thing?
I'm just looking on your blog post right now. Is there anything? Is there like a Facebook thing?
Yeah. Well, sometimes people put it on Facebook. I'm not saying anything, but
yeah, we're not popular enough. It's all right.
No, we're not. Well, Josh Hartman says he is heading to a nudist fest in Florida and is wondering if we would like to join.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
I love that. I love that kid.
Yeah. We're leaving right now. Sean's gonna pick me up here in Durham. So you were actually the closest artist talk that I've ever done.
Yeah, because I mean we're right down the road. You're like an hour and a half.
Yeah,
we could have done this in person.
I know. We should have.
This could have been a whole new trend. You could have.
Why don't you ever come to Durham, by the way?
I don't ever go to Raleigh area at all.
Really?
I usually drive through Raleigh. It goes back to what I was saying about not really working in state. Like I like the mountains here.
Yeah.
There's parts of the coast I like, but middle of the state, I'm good with. I know, like, Durham's really cool, but, like, I don't think I'd make a day trip just to go to Durham unless I was going up there for a specific reason, like a shoot.
Sure.
Or to do an artist talk.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I
could have been wonderful.
Yeah, Chad's coming up soon, so I think we may hang out then. I don't know.
Yeah, I told him to let me know when he comes because I've got free time, so I'll probably try to swing up and hang out. So.
Yeah, we'll have some mandate or something. And Sam
mandate.
Yeah, Sam Hurd's going to be here next Wednesday here in Durham doing his thing. So we could all come up and.
Has he been to Durham before?
No, this will be his first thing. So
that's
cool.
There's
a lot of our people coming in for that workshop as well. So a lot of folks that are around.
Durham's a fun town. When is that? You said Wednesday?
Yeah, next Wednesday the 14th. Cool. Yep.
That's awesome.
Cool. Well,
that's awesome.
Everybody out there, you can follow Sean. Wow, I can't believe I didn't put your links on here. Damn, I'm gonna edit
you
that
didn't?
right now. No, I didn't. I usually
it's not really worth checking out. It's just tell them to go to Brett Boner, I think, photography.com. I think is the. That's BrettBoner.com. I don't know. Yep. That might take you to the bad site.
Yeah, I'm gonna put in Sean's links right now for everybody that's going to the blog and watching this here. So hold tight there, or you can just Google Sean Carr photography. You can find him on Instagram and Facebook, of course. Please follow him and troll him and all. He will troll you back. So
yes, I will. Absolutely.
And so if you are interested in the photo rehab, you can check that out at thephotorehab.com. Me and Sean will be teaching there next year along with Josh Hartman and Shelly Hartman and a few other folks around here. But if you have questions for us and we're not live and you're watching this after the broadcast, you can contact me or Sean. I'm sure that we'll be happy to talk to you. So love you guys. Thank you all for all your support, and we'll catch you soon. Thank you so much, Sean. You're amazing. Thanks for
thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, thanks for your vibes and
cheers, guys.
Yeah, peace.
You got it.